Welcome to a brand new, exciting episode of Badminton Unlimited. Coming up on today's show, a resurgent Carolina Marin recounts her bumpy road to recovery.
Estaba sentada en una silla con la pierna en alto porque todavía no podía tener la pierna hacia abajo, ya que la sangre me iba a ir mucho a la pierna y eso hacía que se me pudiera hinchar mucho más, entonces siempre tenía que tener la pierna en alto.
Badminton Ireland celebrates 120 successful years since its founding.
120 years later, we've 350 plus clubs. We've over 13,000 members.
And we get up close and personal with All England Open champion Chen Yufei.
超级英雄的人，就漫威女神。
It was back-to-back action on the HSBC BWF World Tour last week, with the Korea Open 2019 assuming the spotlight after the Victor China Open. This year's edition of the Korea Open brought fans to the Incheon Airport Skydome for the Super 500 showpiece. After 5 days of intense competition, it was down to some cracking finals, and what better way to raise the curtain than with an exciting all-Korea battle between Kim So-young, Kong Hee-young and compatriots Lee So-hee, Shin Seung-chan. In their first World Tour final this year, Lee and Shin did not waste any time making their mark as they settled into their game quicker to take a 1-0 lead. However, fortune favoured Kim and Kong as the Daihatsu Yonex Japan Open champions fought from a 4-point deficit in the second game to stretch the contest to a decider. Lee and Shin's challenge fizzled as Kim and Kong stayed on course to win their fourth World Tour title of the year with the final score of 13-21, 21-19, 21-17.
일단 첫 세트 경기는 저희가 생각한 대로 너무 안 풀려서 조금 경기를 뛰는데 좀 속도 상하고 했는데 투세트 때도 지고 있었는데 뭔가 저희가 욕심을 뭔가 내는 것 같아서 그냥 희용이한테 그냥 편안하게 다시 해보자고 하고 아무래도 제가 그 서비스를 조금 변칙적으로 넣었던 거에서 아마도 소위 승찬이가 좀 당황한 거에 있어서 저희가 이겼던 것 같은 느낌인 것 같아요.
The men's doubles final followed with Indonesians Fajar Alfian and Muhammad Rian Andianto up against Japan's Takeshi Kimura and Keigo Sonoda. Having only the Yonex Swiss Open crown to show for their efforts this year, sixth seeds Alfian and Ardianto were hungry to capture another tour title as they blitzed their opponents in the opening game. Kimura and Sonoda tried picking up the pace in the second game, but with the Southeast Asians dictating the rhythm, errors crept in. The match was over in 40 minutes, with Alfian and Ardianto winning a review of a line call to clinch match point. The world number 6 duo were crowned Korea Open champions with the final score 21-16, 21-17.
Ya kuncinya kita bermain di depan ya, siapa yang di depan kita harus siap karena mereka terkenal dengan powernya yang kuat, stamina yang bagus, jadi kita memperlambat tempo permainan, jadi kita atur ritme permainannya gitu, jadi mereka tidak bisa berkembang. Gitu.
Defending champion Cho Tian-chen faced world champion Kento Momota for the men's singles title. The opening game saw the Japanese grabbing a 17-12 lead, only for Cho to reel off 5 straight points and draw level. Momota regrouped just in time to secure the opener. Undeterred, the Blibli Indonesia Open winner continued to probe in the following game, but could not find a way past the resolute Momota. For a second successive Sunday, Momota stepped atop the podium, prevailing 21-19, 21-17 for his 6th tour title of 2019.
そうですね、やっぱり、張選手はすごく駆け引きが上手で、少しでも気を抜いてしまうとエースショットを打たれてしまうので、そこをしっかり気をつけて常に準備しようと思って、プレーしてました。
Women's singles was up next with Ratchanok Intanon and Hebing Jiao, who was looking for her first tour victory since October 2016. However, the world number 7 did not get the morale-boosting start she would have wanted as her Thai opponent edged past to claim the opening game. The chips were also down for her in the second game, with Intanon on the brink of her 3rd title at 2016. But miraculously, He staged a sensational comeback, saving 4 match points before forcing a decider.
I think that I try to keep everything like calm, like try to like point by point, but when she come closer, my thinking is was nervous, and when nervous, the handwork is not really good.
With a shell-shocked Intanon unable to regain her composure and her growing in confidence, only one outcome was on the cards. It ended 18-21, 24-22, 21-17 to the jubilant Chinese.
非常激动，不知所措。其实第2局后面能扳回来，是因为自己的脑子比较清楚，所以第3局的时候就越来越冷静，越来越耐心，然后打的就会比第1局和第2局要好。
The drama continued in mixed doubles with a repeat of this year's Total BWF World Championships final featuring top seeds Zheng Siwei, Huang Yaqiong and Dechapol Puavaranukro Sapsari Tiratalachai. Boasting 5 World Tour titles already this season, Zheng and Huang were understandably heavy favourites at the Sky Dome, but at this final hurdle, the reigning world champions were uncharacteristically error-strewn and lacklustre for much of the match. The Thais, having beaten the Chinese en route to the Singapore Open crown earlier this year, maintained the pressure as they marched to a second World Tour title for 2019. The final score read 21-14, 21-13, wrapping up a memorable career Open with 5 countries sharing the honours.
In the World Championship, we play not in our plan and defend a lot. That's why. And then this time we can attack them a lot, and then they make mistake.
我觉得今天还是我们打得不好，所以才显得他们打得好吧。其实他们也就正常的发挥，我觉得。
可能就是今天对手的整个就说速度啊，然后发挥啊，我觉得就确实，无论说男孩女孩都发挥的挺好的。
My name is Bello Rafio Oyebanji, Nigeria International SF4 para badminton player, and I feel good playing para badminton.
When we were at Uganda's Lugogo Stadium for the Para Badminton Technical Workshop supported by the Agitos Foundation, we also caught up with Africa's SL4 men's singles champion to listen to his inspiring journey in the sport.
When I started to play able badminton. I represent my state at the national level in Nigeria. Then I later got to work at the Sport Council. Then when I could not play actively again, I go into coaching. And I'm a coach in my state. So I started coaching able badminton. Then we have our first national para badminton tournament in 2014. I was very happy, I was overwhelmed because it's my dream to make the game establish and grow in Nigeria. I did not play because my level is beyond them. In 2017, when the Africa come up with para badminton and we are having our first international here in Uganda, I was very happy. Then at the same time, I was really challenged because there's no sponsorship for it. Thank God, some personality came to my head, and with a lot of support from myself, I was able to come here 2017, my first para badminton international. When I got here, I was able to get 2 bronze. I got bronze in singles and doubles. So it was something to go back home and start telling government, oh, this game is coming up so great in Africa, Nigeria, we have to do something. A lot of people, the awareness was increasing tremendously. Through the awareness, I was able to come back here last year for both Uganda International and first African Championship. In Uganda International, I was able to have 2 silver and 1 bronze. Then, in African International Championship, I got 3 gold in singles, doubles, and mixed double. It was my tremendous happiness. Actually, it's not an easy thing for me because my work is as a coach in my state. So I train my player in the morning. After 2-3 hours training, then I'll start my personal training for like another 1 or 2 hours. So it's really choke my times. I hardly have another schedule because of para badminton. But I always make sure 3 times in a week I have to have my personal training. My ambition in para badminton is very wide. Wide in the sense that it's wide from my own personal to my country and to Africa at large. From my own personal, I want to be in Para Olympics and won medal for the first time, both for Africa and for Nigeria. On national level, my ambition is to see para badminton grow in Nigeria. In Africa, we are just starting 3 years ago, but thank God we are improving tremendously. That is Confederation of Africa Badminton. They are having a tremendous work to make the game go in Africa. Para badminton is lovely. That's just how I say it. It's lovely. There's no how you play it, you fell in love with it. You watch it, you fell in love with it. So I'm not exceptional. It's lovely game.
我最喜欢吃肉，牛肉。我比较喜欢吃日本烧肉，就去日本比赛的时候就比较开心。蓝色。超级英雄的电影，就漫威那些，钢铁侠、美国队长。对啊。那个吃鸡。旅行嘛，旅行比较想去泰国或者日本嘛。最喜欢的运动员，林丹。Ironman， 就是感觉他很帅，就是他那个盔甲很帅。平时就是看电影嘛，就是看电影，然后可能逛街这样。
Stay with us. After this short break, Carolina Marin sends out a warning to her rivals.
Hemos tenido mucho tiempo para pensar y Carolina está fuerte y se siente otra vez con ganas de ganar grandes títulos.
And we present to you the top 5 plays of September. In just her second tournament back from a career-threatening injury, Carolina Marin won the Super 1000 Victor China Open 2019 and announced to the world that she is back. After a first-round loss in a Super 100 event in Vietnam, the triple world champion hit the heights in Changzhou, brushing aside formidable opponents.
Pues lo primero que yo pensé cuando me caí al suelo fue que se me había salido la rodilla y justamente yo quería seguir jugando ese partido porque era un partido contra Saina, yo iba ganando 9-2 y yo me sentía como que de esos partidos que estás convencida de que lo vas a ganar y por eso yo justamente jugué 2 puntos más, pero en el segundo punto ya vi que la pierna no la podía poner recta ni tampoco flexionarla del todo y desgraciadamente pues me tuve que retirar llorando porque sabía que no era cualquier cosa sino que iba a ser algo grave. Yo cogí el avión horas después de haberme lesionado y llegué a España al día siguiente. Fui directamente al hospital en el que me hicieron una resonancia para ver si tenía algo roto en la rodilla. El doctor me dijo que tenía una rotura del ligamento cruzado anterior y justamente cuando me dijo que tenía algo roto fue cuando yo me vine abajo, empecé a llorar muchísimo porque eso sabía yo que era como que iba a estar muchos meses fuera de la alta competición. Una vez que salí del hospital ya mi cabeza dejó de pensar en las cosas negativas y me dije para mí misma que teníamos que cambiar el camino, pero que el objetivo seguía siendo el mismo. Entonces que tenía que empezar a pensar en cosas positivas, tener paciencia en la rehabilitación, pero la verdad es que fueron momentos muy duros cuando me dijo el doctor que tenía la rodilla rota. Las partes de mi rehabilitación han sido pues a los 5 o 6 días de operarme, yo empecé ya a coger una raqueta, estaba sentada en una silla con la pierna en alto porque todavía no podía tener la pierna hacia abajo ya que la sangre me iba a ir mucho a la pierna y eso hacía que se me pudiera hinchar mucho más, entonces siempre tenía que tener la pierna en alto. Así estuvimos pues unas cuantas semanas hasta que luego poco a poco, junto con mi preparador físico, íbamos haciendo ejercicios para no... Perdí mucha musculatura porque al estar 5 días parada y también tener una operación, perdí mucha musculatura de la pierna derecha y poco a poco intentábamos hacer ejercicios para ir recuperando mínimamente esa musculatura. Conforme la rodilla nos iba dejando hacer más trabajo y más cosas, pues ya empecé junto con mi fisioterapeuta Diego, empezamos a darle más movilidad a la pierna, empezamos ya a hacer cosas en bicicleta, también a hacer cosas en la piscina, ejercicios para no darle mucha carga a la rodilla, siempre teniendo en cuenta las sensaciones que yo tenía de mi rodilla. Si se me hinchaba un poco, pues teníamos que parar el entrenamiento. Luego poco a poco, ya pues a los 3 meses ya dejé las muletas y fue cuando, a partir de ahí, a los 3 meses y medio, 4 meses, fue cuando ya empecé a moverme un poquito por la pista, empezaba ya a estar más tiempo de pie, ya no tenía que estar tanto tiempo sentada y así poco a poco hemos ido pues moviéndonos ya por toda la pista. Sí, siempre, pues desde el momento que yo me enteré que me había roto la rodilla, lo primero que pensé era que tenía que desarrollar la paciencia, cosa que para mí es algo muy complicado porque soy una chica muy nerviosa y muy activa y la paciencia a veces me cuesta mucho, pero no me quedaba otra que desarrollarla porque iban a pasar muchos meses hasta que pudiera competir y pudiera encontrarme otra vez en forma y que yo me sintiera segura de la rodilla, pero la paciencia ha sido lo más importante en todo este proceso. Sí, claro que veréis a una Carolina diferente, sobre todo porque Carolina ha desarrollado muchas cosas que normalmente en un año no le da tiempo a mejorar, ya que tenemos muchos torneos durante el año y nunca podemos mejorar esos pequeños detalles. He cambiado mi juego, lo he adaptado mucho mejor pues, al final a toda la lesión. Hemos tenido mucho tiempo para pensar y Carolina está fuerte y se siente otra vez con ganas de ganar grandes títulos.
There were some amazing rallies in the month of September, and here at Badminton Unlimited we always keep you up to date. Here are our top 5 plays of the month.
4 remain for the Indonesian. Oh my goodness! This is simply outrageous. Reverse slice. Oh, don't believe it! Oh, my word. Well, rally of the match so far. Both the Chinese players on the floor.
For the Koreans. Absolutely astonishing. They'd have gone for all money there. Look at this.
That was absolutely fantastic. Good play there by Seo Sung-jae. And all in vain here as partner Choi on the floor. 51 shots.
What a shot! How on earth did he do that? Way off balance on the first one, then down on his knees and somehow manages to defend that one. Even he turns to his coach and smiles.
"2019 is a very special year for Badminton Ireland as they celebrate their 120th anniversary in November. Founded as the Badminton Union of Ireland in 1899, it later became one of the founding members of the International Badminton Federation. Started in 1902, the Irish Open is one of the oldest badminton tournaments. Badminton Ireland CEO David McGill spoke to Badminton Unlimited about how far the sport has come in Ireland since the inception of the federation.
2019 is our 120th anniversary, so it's a really big year. It's a big milestone for Badminton Ireland. We were formed in 1899, and that was off the back of two clubs having a dispute on court, which does tend to happen, and they decided they needed a governing body to help resolve these issues. So on the 25th of November 1899, those two clubs and some other clubs formed, and they formed the Badminton Union of Ireland. It's grown a lot since then, obviously, but 120 years later we've 350 plus clubs. We've over 13,000 members. We've a development team that have multiple schools across the country linking in with those clubs. So a lot of new work has been done, and we've come a long way in 120 years, thankfully. I think for me, seeing Scott Evans and Chloe McGee qualify for the Olympics was a big one, and I remember watching the guys play on court. So that's a big milestone for me. There are plenty of other milestones throughout the history, but for me, it would be the two guys at the Olympics. So the museum was started by Bello Rafio, and he's been curating materials for a long time. He's been pulling all these articles together about the history of badminton in Ireland, and a couple of years ago he got a space and they created the first ever Irish Badminton Museum, which was a great achievement for Dick because he'd spent so many years doing it voluntarily, and now he has a space to show off to the Irish public. Last year, the Japanese Badminton Federation actually travelled over to Ireland to see the museum ahead of Tokyo 2020 because they're looking to start their own museum, and they had Ireland's museum in mind to look at. Yeah, I mean, sport is hugely important in this country, and you just have to look at this campus. I mean, there's so many sports in this small location, but this campus is always busy. There's always some sporting event going on here, across the country. I mean, Irish people love sport. It's in our DNA, whether it's hurling or badminton or football, rugby, you know, there's a passion. And when Ireland are doing well and we have something, everybody comes out, whether they're a long-time supporter or if they just heard that they're playing. Irish people just love getting behind an Irish team. For me, I'd really like to see our 3 able-bodied athletes, Nat, Sam, Chloe, and also Niall, who's para-athlete, qualify. And we really want to just put all our energy and efforts into helping them do that in whatever way we can, because it is a big event. It only comes around every 4 years. For some of these athletes, Chloe and Sam, it could be their last attempt, so we really want to make sure that all our efforts are focused on helping them achieve that goal.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for you. Join us again next week for a special 300th edition of Badminton Unlimited that goes back to the sport's origins. Meanwhile, for the latest results and news on the HSBC BWF World Tour, you can check out our website, bwfworldtour.com. Bye-bye for now. We'll see you soon.